I'm in the mood for some really good whiskey. I don't know about you, but we don't know what we're drinking, so we could be let down by this. We don't know. We're going to get into it and see, give you the most honest opinion possible with this blind tasting.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thanks for joining us. If you are new here, we are the channel that does blind tastings almost like no one else. We're double blind all the time, so we have no clue what we're drinking. We've drawn this at random from our blind sample pool, full of a bunch of different pours, and it could be almost anything.
Yeah.
Again, we taste this way to give you the most honest opinions possible. It removes all of our bias that we might have for or against this bottle, and get down to the nitty gritty on it. Let's get this on the nose.
It smells like cotton candy.
Oh,
like it's
I like
giving me
that.
like fluffy sugar.
I kind of like that note. To me, this just smelled kind of like very indistinct red fruit and honey, but it's really faint on the nose for me.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a lot.
I'm getting cotton candy and body odor.
All right.
Like a hint of body odor.
A little funk.
You're eating cotton candy and somebody that needs to take a shower just walked by. That's what I'm getting.
This is really faint for me. Is it for you? Or are you actually getting a fair bit on the nose here?
I'm getting the smell of fluffy.
Okay.
Other than that, not much.
I can kind of see you there.
Like if you would take fluffy and make it a smell, that's what I'm smelling.
Yeah, it smells like kind of like a stuffed animal. Cheers.
This tastes like a Smartie. You know, you get them in those little tubes, little rolls.
Wow,
This tastes just like a Smartie.
That is really saturated flavor. For the nose being so faint for me, I'm kind of stunned at how saturated the flavor is on the palate.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting that candy, sugary sweetness to it. You know, you said cotton candy on the nose, but this is coming through with more of that concentrated sugar candy note on the palate.
There's a little bite to it, but it doesn't feel hot.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like this is high proof, but there is like a sharpness I feel in the back of my throat, but it's not like a heat, like proof heat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I think it's just, I mean, it is alcohol. So,
Fair.
There is that. And you can't trust that first sip. We're just getting acclimated. Second sip.
Okay, I'm getting more like wood influence on that second sip. It always gets dry for me on my second sip, drier.
Yeah.
So now I'm adding popsicle stick into this equation of Smarties. It kind of gave me popsicle stick vibes. This is interesting.
It is incredibly concentrated.
Yeah.
It has a ton of concentration, like almost like a syrup. It's like a high fructose corn syrup pour. And it even has that kind of body to it. It's not really spicy. It's just more, it has a little edge, like you said. And then it's just got like this crazy concentrated, sugary sweet, fruity sugar candy thing going.
It's almost like borderline too sweet for me, but then that kind of sharp edge almost balances it out.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it's just a different flavor profile than I want. It's missing like the base. It's all like melodies and harmonies, but there's no like, there's no weight to it. So I think I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly see what you're saying, and I'm getting a fair bit of oakiness.
Yeah.
Along with that sugary fruit sugar syrup sweetness.
Yeah.
But the oak that's in there isn't contrasting the sweetness quite enough, because it's so sweet.
I wonder if this is a rye.
I don't know.
It's giving me like rye vibes, even though it's sweet. Because it's not sweet like a bourbon is typically sweet.
Yeah.
It's sweet like a rye is typically sweet when you have a very sweet rye.
Yeah, you get those really candied, sugary notes of like aged rye.
Yeah.
I could see that. I wasn't thinking that, but I can 100% see what you're saying there. I mean, this to me is crazy. This is a wild pour.
I want another sip, so that means I must like it, right?
We'll get another pour, or get another sip. I'm actually kind of surprised that this isn't too sweet for you, knowing your palate, but it could be the type of sweetness that it is hitting you the right way.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want it all the time, but I don't mind it, because again, I think that sharpness, whatever that's there on the back of the palate, does balance out the candy sweetness.
Yeah.
I have a rating.
Okay. Where you at?
I'm actually going to give this thumbs up.
Okay.
If it's too expensive, I'll change it, but it's pretty good. Like I would like a bottle of this if it was a decent price.
Yeah, I'll go thumbs up as well. It is really good. It's very specific in flavor.
It's not an everyday pour, but it would be something I would reach for on occasion.
It's so sweet. It's so sugary sweet. So if you like sugary sweetness with a lot of saturation of flavor, but you still want it to kind of have like a lower spice level.
Yeah.
And be a little bit more approachable, then this is definitely one to look into.
I do want to note that it is missing like a weightiness to it. Like some bourbons or even ryes, like finished ryes can get like this like undercurrent of like
the bass notes, like you were saying. Like it's more in the mid-range and treble.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, this is striking me like, probably 110 proof. I mean, it might be a rye. I'm thinking bourbon, but I'm not too different from feeling like it could be a rye. And the saturation of flavor to me feels like special whiskey. So I would, in my mind, when I start thinking of special whiskey, I start thinking of like $100 to $150 a bottle. So that's kind of where my brain's going to on this. But
well, I've also already reacted and I'm out.
It's how much is it?
$200. I'm thumbs down. Like it's fine. It is whiskey I would drink, but I'm not spending $200 of my money to drink this. I'll spend $200 of my money to drink something else. That's not this.
Yeah, I mean...
This is fine, but it's not $200.
So you're thumbs down.
I'm thumbs down.
I'm going to go down to just okay, only because this isn't exactly my flavor profile, and for $200, I want it to be my flavor profile.
Yeah.
However, there are days where this would be exactly what I'm looking for. It is very good. Like, you can tell that it's crazy whiskey. It's got that saturated thing going on that not a lot of shelf products do. So I'm not surprised at the price point. What are we drinking? As you're taking a sip and putting you on the spot.
Well, I wanted to find out. I'm intrigued by this because it's so expensive, but I also can't stop sipping it.
Okay, but you're a hard pass.
I'm a hard pass.
You're not even getting a pour in a restaurant or a bar if we're out.
I would get a pour at like a restaurant.
Okay.
So that means I have to do just okay.
Maybe. I mean, you don't hate it.
Because I won't. It's not that I won't ever drink this again. Okay. I'm officially changing my rating to just okay.
Okay. So
because just okay means I would get a pour of this at a bar. I don't necessarily have to have a bottle of it in my home, but I would drink it if given to me or if the opportunity were to arise for me to buy a pour.
Right.
I would buy it. So just okay.
Okay. We're both just okay. What are we drinking?
We are drinking Found North Peregrine.
Oh, wow.
What is Peregrine?
It was a special release they did one time. What's the proof on this? I said 110.
126.2.
Wow.
It does not feel that high of a proof to my mouth.
The nose is belying me here. This is crazy.
Also thanks to Bill and Delia Kavanaugh, so thank you.
Bill and Delia, thank you guys for making this video possible.
What's the makeup of this?
I would have to look it up, and I probably will just to be sure because we do love Found North. I mean, this is a wild whiskey. I mean, people are seeing all the details on the screen right now, but I know it's like 20 years old.
Oh, wow, 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, again, Canadian whiskey, and they're blending the elements together. Like
they're blending the finished whiskey elements together.
Right. It's straight rye. It's like 100% rye, 100% corn whiskey, 100% malted barley whiskey, and then they blend that stuff together.
They blend the finished whiskeys together. The already completed whiskey's not finished.
Right. So this is Canadian. It's aged 20 years, ex-cognac finish, and some new wood finish on it as well. And the derived mash bill is 76% corn, 23% rye, 1% barley. So mostly corn, mostly sweet.
Cognac also is what's giving it some like candied sweetness.
Yeah, the cognac is for sure giving a heavy influence, and then that new wood is providing that crazy oaky undertone to it.
That kind of balances out the sweetness.
Yeah.
I just wish it had like the bottom layer.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not getting a lot on the nose, and we did warm our palate up before this, so, my nose was working just fine on that pour, a known pour, pretty classic, and we're tracking. But this is, to me, not drinking 126 proof.
No, definitely drinks under proof, which is impressive. Why can't I not stop sipping this? Normally, I can just put it down.
Well, also, this is a testament to when you're tasting things blind, your perception blind versus your perception when you're not blind.
Yeah.
A lot of people who try Peregrine, they get it and they're like 126 proof, and they drink it and they're like, wow, this drink's way under proof, but it's got a ton of flavor, which is a true statement.
When you know that it's 126
Right.
proof. Yeah.
But we didn't know it's 126 proof, so we don't even have that proof point to bias us one way or another. But yeah, this does drink well under proof. I mean, these bottles are long gone. It was a one-time release.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if they release another one or not, but we typically pretty much love everything Found North does. And we both did really like this. Like, you keep drinking it.
I know. I can't stop drinking it. It's
We're just cheap, so don't get mad at us for being cheap.
Yeah.
We're frugal.
I mean,
Aaron more so than me.
I will take that. I mean, I'm more cheap than you are, but when it comes to whiskey, that's just how I am.
Man, I'm just stunned at the saturation of flavor on this. It is insane. You just don't, again, you don't get many things that do what this does. Said that before I knew what it was. Found North continues to deliver on that. Am I in the mood for that flavor, this flavor profile all the time? You know, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But boy, oh boy, this is a big pour. So kudos to Found North for some incredible blending.
Yeah.
I will say that I do think out of their catalog, through the first 9 batches that they've released, a couple second summits, a couple special releases, I like this way better than Helldiver. This is up there with my favorite batches, if not better than. I might prefer the flavor profile of like batch 4, batch 6 a little bit more than this.
Batch 6 a lot.
Yeah. And batch 9 is really good too. I actually, funny enough, just drank our last little bit of batch 9 last night. But batch 6 and batch 4 kind of have a little bit more of those bass notes. But man,
I like a good bass. Gotta thump in the bass.
Man,
I like some bass notes.
Yeah.
In music and in whiskey.
If you're not paying attention to Found North, you definitely should. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like unbiased reviews like this, then you should definitely take care of that. If you are new here, don't feel any pressure to follow the next thing I'm going to say. But if you are a recurring viewer and you know about our charity fundraiser that we do every year in October, that's going to be coming up very soon. And we need bottle donations so that we can raise money for charity. We support a mental health organization called To Write Love on Her Arms, and they're amazing. They take care of sponsor recovery and help for people with mental health who are battling mental health issues. You know, mental health affects us all, from our children to our veterans to our
we all have
young and old.
minds, so we all need to keep them healthy. And sometimes we just go through spells where we're not feeling the greatest. And To Write Love on Her Arms helps people find counseling. They do trainings. They go to schools. They do all kinds of stuff. Like on the ground, boots on the ground sort of stuff for mental health advocacy and stuff.
Right, which is why we support them, because the dollars that are donated to them actually go towards helping other people and helping people find help. So you can't beat that. We need bottle donations. Email us at stuffandwhiskey@gmail.com if you would like to donate a bottle to the cause. Because of the donations that we've had over the past 3 years, we've already raised over $45,000, over $15,000 each year. We would love to follow that up with a strong year this year as well.
Absolutely.
So be a part of something bigger, and let's use this whiskey thing to do something good with. Also, if you want to check out something else good, check out our Patreon community. Best dang group of people on planet Earth over there.
Absolutely.
You can get plugged in. That's where you can get our barrel picks, bonus content. That's where we release, you know, like I said, our barrel picks through all the tiers. We do virtual tastings. We've got a fantastic community over on Discord, and you can get through all that over on Patreon.
Absolutely.
So check that out.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. Be good to each other, y'all. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Man, I was kind of stumbling over my words at the end of that video because this pour broke my brain.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it. It wasn't like I wasn't in love with it, but I also couldn't stop trying it.
Yeah.
Like, there was something about it that kept me coming back to it, and I can't put my finger on what that was.
It's got that special whiskey thing about it.
I guess.
That
I don't know.
saturation.